everyone, and we are here again for a new episode of the Figure Out English podcast for English learners. Please go to our YouTube channel to watch the videos of the episodes with the full transcript and subscribe to the podcast updates. And let's go! Hello guys, and welcome to episode 43. And today we continue the work we started 2 weeks ago. So if you didn't listen to episode 42, I recommend to go back and listen to it, because we started talking about collocations with work, with the word work, and I told you everything you need to know about work as a noun. Today I will keep talking about verbs and verb combinations with the word work. So if you want to have a full picture, make sure you listen to episode 42 first. Now let's go and let's learn everything we need to know about the verb work. To work, yeah, it's one of the first verbs we learn in English, but how does it live, okay, in the combinations? It's very typical for us to say to work as when you are going to name the position. For example, I work as a teacher, I work as a manager, I work as a salesperson, yeah? As a. It's a typical collocation, to work as a, okay? My sister works as a hairdresser. Not like, it's a typical mistake. We say like very often. No, work as a. Okay, if you don't want to say the exact position but just want to describe the area, you can say I work in sales, I work in languages, I work in marketing, I work in production, and that's all. Work in describes the area. Okay, if you want to name the company, we have different prepositions. It's typical to say to work for. If you work in a private company, for example, I work for, and you give the name. Yeah, I work for Beatrix, for example. I work for La La Land, whatever. You give a name of the private company. We say in about organizations and places. So I work in a library. I work in a bank. I work in a bakery. You don't define the legal person, the company, yeah? You just name an organization, or you name a type of place. You name a place, for example. And sometimes in the business books, they say that you can say to work at about global companies. I work at Pepsi. I work at McDonald's, something like that. But there, actually, for will be okay too. I work for Pepsi, for example, or I work at Pepsi. Be very careful, because these prepositions, I know that in some languages it's typical to say always to work in, but it's not always so. And in private business, we always say I work for. I work for Drift, I worked for Buffer, and so on. You can say to work on when you mean a project. I'm working on our annual budget at the moment, okay? I am working on a new course about prepositions at the moment. This is my example. Work on. And when you say to work with, okay, you are talking about collaboration. You are talking about other people in the project. I work with my father. I work with my brother, I work with my boyfriend, and so on and so on. Also, very typical combinations. When you describe, for example, you can say, I work long hours. It's not like I work a lot. Yeah, you can say I work a lot, but for example, I have very long working time. People often try to say, no, I work long hours. And for example, you can say, well, I have to work round the clock. These days, it's a very difficult situation, because round the clock, it means all day long, 24 hours a day. If somebody can do that, or you describe something, yes, so our company is open around the clock, so we work round the clock for you. If you have shifts, for example, yeah, if new people come, and so on and so on. And don't forget that the verb work doesn't always describe the things which you do. It often describes the functioning of objects, of machines, and so on and so on. So how does this machine work? It is the same thing, yeah? And in this case, you can have collocations like, does it work properly? Properly means like it is supposed to, yeah? Well, according to the instruction, according to the plan. It doesn't work properly, or it is not working properly right now when you see that the machine is doing something really strange, yeah? You can say to work perfectly, to work well, to work properly, to work smoothly. It's a very good one. When, well, everything goes well, everything goes according to the plan, nothing is wrong, okay? If you want to describe that something is wrong, you can say it works badly, it doesn't work for me, okay? For example, we can say it about the relationships. I'm sorry, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, yeah, the relationships. It's not about doing some work, yeah, it is about the functioning. And also, work can be a part of phrasal verbs. There are not so many phrasal verbs, but there is one worth mentioning. We use work as a verb, as a part of the phrasal verb to work out very often. But there are 3 different meanings. You can say work out if you do some sport. For example, I've been working out lately. It means I go to the gym, I do some sport, I do some exercise, right? Or for example, he looks good, he's been working out so much, yeah? You can say to do a workout, about one-time training, or I work out, yeah? Typically, it's about going to the gym, this particular type of sport. You can say work out, meaning the result of the situation. For example, relationship with John didn't work out for me. It means that it didn't work, yeah, it didn't work out. The result was not so good, so to say. And also, you can use work out to say about something you need to understand. I can't work out the solution to this problem, okay? I can't work out what I need to do, meaning that you're trying to understand, you're trying to figure out. It's a bit similar to figure out. Work out, it means to find, to understand, to resolve the situation in some way. Well, yeah, it means like a lot, isn't it? And we've just started because there are also idioms with work, but we will start here. And I hope that you find this useful. But don't forget that it's almost impossible just to remember all this stuff. Yeah, you listen to the episode once, for example, you will not remember this stuff. But if you read in English, if you listen in English, and then you look at the examples, you think about it, and you try, it's very important to try and remember the typical combinations. And I've just described you the things which you will mostly see and hear. And step by step you will get there. Step by step you will start using them in your own speaking too. Well, thank you very much for bearing with me. I know it's a long episode, but I want to help you here. And this work with collocations, I believe, is one of the most important elements for your fluency. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to go to the blog to read all the notes, to do the quiz, and keep learning. Thanks for listening. You can find all the episodes on figureoutenglish.com. Happy learning!